Scrappy Cox Movie Socks, I'm going to with my top 5 favorite Mega Evolutions of all time. Well, there are only so many Mega Evolutions to pick from, but we've only done 2 top 5 / top 10s on the channel, so I decided, why not do one more for kind of like a pre-900 special? It's not really a 900 special. I don't know, we don't really do these often. I don't know, do you guys want me to do these often? You guys might want to leave that down in the comment section with your opinions on this. That is a big thing I want to get into real quick. This is all opinionated. This is based on design, power, how much I use them, how well they work in the teams that I like to use. Cause some people like to use like a standard kind of area of teaming or some shit like that. And how well they work like that, how well they work with other Pokemon, weaknesses, resistances, powerful movesets, all this stuff. So much stuff goes into this. I could sit here and name it all day. Their foot size, their fucking, the Jordans they like and shit. But I just wanted to kind of let you guys know my top 5 favorite Mega Evolutions, but this doesn't go for just me. You guys can leave your top 5 favorite Mega Evolutions, your top 10, you're the whole thing. I don't care if it's 1 to 20, 1 to 5, or 1 to 3. Just leave your top 5 or your top 10 or whatever down in the comment section. About to say description. The comment sections, I read through all of them. You can leave a little reason with it too if you want. I like when you guys leave a reason because then I get to know why. But that's pretty much it. Let's get right into this top 5. So coming at you with number 5 is Garchomp. Garchomp being a very strong, physically attacking type of Pokemon. Doesn't really have too many defenses. Kind of slow after the Mega Evolution. Loses some of its speed to raise its attack up to an amazing 170. That is ridiculous. Anything that this thing hits as a Mega Evolution is not going to take it nicely. I don't care if you resist it or not. You are not eating up anything this thing can have really nicely. Dragon Claw, all that stuff. This thing kind of has a decent moves pool of Fire Fang, Dragon Claw, Crunch, Dig, Earthquake. Not too many like really strong things that it can have, but that's just because if it had a really nice moveset, it would be Ubers, to be honest. It does get Brick Break and stuff like that, which can kind of counter some of its weaknesses. I think it learns Iron Tail and Iron Head too. The only reason it's not higher up on the list is just because its strongest weakness being Dragon, and then its strongest weakness being Ice, and then its second strongest weakness being Dragon. I feel like Ice is too common of a type. It takes it out really quick. Water types can learn Ice type moves. Ice types get it. A lot of Dragon types can get Ice type moves, and I don't know. Ice is such a common type that any Ice type move, if an Ice type has like a Focus Sash or just can eat up a hit from this thing, it just completely wrecks it. Like, it's not eating up anything. That's the only reason it's really not higher up on the list. It's just the weakness it has is so common that it just destroys it. And it has Fairy too, which is a very common type now because everyone wants to use Fairy. It can eat up a decent hit. I like its ability Sand Force. It doesn't really help too much. It sucks that he lost some speed, but I guess if he didn't lose the speed, he'd be overpowered too. This thing is just a really strong hitting. I love its design, how it's a shark. Shark's such a cool animal. I love how it has like razor hands. I guess they were trying to go to like a kind of Scizor way. I didn't want it to be like fucking two things. I wanted him to have hands and fucking claws too. But I guess if he's gonna have to like sight their hands, that's fine. Sharks are really nice. I love how he sticks to like a nice solid color. His colors all blend in and stuff. A nice like navy blue with white and red and yellow, which is nice. There's so much I can say about this Pokemon. I just like it. I like how Cynthia had it as a champion and stuff like that. And if they ever make Sinnoh remake, we definitely know that Cynthia's gonna get a Mega Garchomp. This thing is so fearsome. Even before Mega Evolution, like special attacks are good on it and physical. Like this thing is an all-out attacker. Anything it hits on you is pretty much gonna hurt. It's not gonna be taken so easily. And that's just why I love it. It plays nice with a lot of Pokemon Road and Wash and stuff like that, where you could switch in and just keep it out there because it can eat up a hit, to be honest. But I love this Pokemon a lot, and that's why it's number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham is here just because I didn't really expect it to get a Mega when I first heard about Megas. This is one of the Pokemons that I didn't expect personally until I saw it, until like I saw it in the game. I didn't believe that this thing got a Mega because it is complete ass without a Mega. Well, it's not complete ass. Its ability is really nice, pure power that really helps it out. But without a Mega, none of its stats are above 100. And that is ridiculously bad. But after a Mega Evolution, it gets 100 attack, plus the pure power boost, plus all of the moves that it gets. This thing is a complete monster. This thing, every time I see this thing, I get scared just because of its so diverse moveset. It learns all the punches, learns fucking Bullet Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Psycho Shift, or Psycho Cut, sorry. Dynamic Punch, High Jump Kick, Drain Punch, fucking so many nice moves. Rock Slide, you could just go on for days with this thing. This thing, you really have to be careful when you bring this thing out. I don't think it has anything that it could really set up with, but if this thing hurts you, it's gonna hit hard as hell. And it has priority bullet punch on this thing. Was that pure power boost? Oh my god, that abuses teams. I've seen people save this thing till last, come out and just bullet punch everything and just abuse it. This thing is a complete monster. This thing cannot, it doesn't have the defenses as Garchomp, and I don't know what it is, but I like this thing's design a lot more. That's the only reason it's above Garchomp, because they're on an equal playing field for stats. For me personally, this thing is faster than Garchomp, which is really nice, but this thing's like design, just having like hands, it reminds me of like some, it reminds me of the fucking, oh my god, what's that thing called? It's like a Soul Eater thing. The soul in at the bottom of the Death School, Death Academy. The Kishin, it reminds me of the Kishin. Oh my god, its hands, it's so powerful. The way it sits there, it's just sitting there with its hands like all relaxing, all meditating, and then it just drops a high jump kick on your fucking head and you're done. You are not eating that up. This thing doesn't have too many weaknesses, only having Flying, Ghost, and Fairy, which is really nice. Like those, at least Ghost isn't a really common typing in Wi-Fi battling. I don't really see too many Ghost types. I see Gengar, and that's pretty much it, and like Shuppet and stuff. But Flying type is a really usable type, which is kind of bad for this thing, being that that's one of its weaknesses. Flying type is a very common type, and Fairy is a very common type now. Even though there aren't too many Fairies, you see a lot of Sylveons, a lot of Gardevoirs out there, Clefairies, Clefables. It's just all out there, and that kind of sucks. That's what brings it down on the list. Even though it can't eat up a hit, it can still drop a really hard punch on anything. And it has moves that cover all of its weaknesses. Bullet Punch for the Fairies, Rock Slide for the Flying types, Psycho Cup for the Ghost types. Like, this thing covers itself. It is a one-man army. You bring this thing out and it will do all the work. It will sit there and just bullet punch everything, destroy everything, fucking drop those 6 hands on its fucking head, grab its like silk scarves behind him and just like choke him and just look at it. And it was just such an unexpected mega for me. I don't know what it is about this thing. I just did not expect this thing to get a mega at all. Him and his like hula hoops. But that's why he's number 4. Coming at you with the number 3 spot is Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados being a nostalgic first gen Pokemon in my eyes, and a second gen Pokemon when you got that shiny red Gyarados. But this thing, seeing this thing get a mega is so amazing, because as a kid I would use this thing, and when it got a mega I was so hyped, especially with that mold breaker ability. Don't get me wrong, they kind of made it a little worse adding the dark typing to it. I'd rather it stayed water, flying, and then it only had really just a couple weaknesses, being electric and rock, I guess. I think rock was one of its weaknesses, don't quote me on that. Seeing this thing be water dark, adding so many weaknesses to it, grass, fighting, fairy, bug, like that just completely destroys it. Like this thing could come out and the only thing you'd have to be scared of is an electric type. But with Mold Breaker and Earthquake to an electric type, what is that? Like, that would wreck house. This thing has such a nice attack stat of 155, and it has amazing defenses of base 109 physical, base 130 special defense. Like, that is ridiculous. I can't wait if they ever make a gold remake, again, another remake of those for like a future console. I can't wait to see a red shiny Gyarados. I know you can get one now, but I can't wait to see it in that lake, and then hopefully that's how you get a Mega Stone in that game. But this thing has such a nice moveset too. It's the first Pokemon on this list that you guys have seen that can set up. It might be the only Pokemon on this list that can set up, so it can make it a one-man army even stronger. It gets the moves Dragon Dance, that makes it so much better. Dragon Dance, Ice Fang, Waterfall, Earthquake, Iron Head. Like, oh my god, that just wrecks house. It completely destroys Stone Edge, Giga Impact. Even though those aren't really seen, those are always their Outrage. It's just, this thing can put in so much work, and it's ridiculous how it's a first gen Pokemon at the gate of a Mega, and it works, and it's good, and it's not a starter, and it's so nostalgic to me. I guess this is one of the more personal Pokemon on my list. It's one of the less powerful, but more nostalgic. Its design is kind of weird. I don't really like how they made him really like big in the front and then kind of small in the back. He looks like a floating chode, but kudos to Nintendo for at least making it. That's pretty much it. That's why he deserves number 3. Holding the number 2 spot is Mega Absol. Mega Absol having the ability Magic Bounce, kind of destroying hazards in a sense. You don't really have to worry about a spinner when you use this thing. If you keep it alive, whenever they're trying to set up hazards, you bring this thing out and it just pushes them all back. You don't have to worry about it. It can pretty much set up hazards for you in a sense. When people are setting up rocks and stuff, just throws it back. I kind of feel like it's like an Espeon in a sense, except this thing can set up, and it has an immense attack stat. It's pretty fast, being 115 base speed, and 115's base special attack. So you can run it mixed if you prefer. It's better physical because it has Swords Dance and stuff like that. The reason I like this thing is because of its design is amazing. I love what they did to it. Personally, this thing was one of my it was one of my personal favorite Pokemon as a kid. I remember I always needed an Absol on my team every time I went through Hoenn. It was a necessity. It was like a starter to me. And it kind of dropped down in a few years, but when this thing got a Mega, it shined a light back out to me because there were a lot better Dark types. Don't get me wrong, this isn't the best Dark type in the world. Honchkrow definitely is in my mind, to be honest. The only thing that I would say about this thing is it needs more of a diverse move pool. It only learns moves like Sucker Punch, Swords Dance, Psycho Cut, Mega Horn, Play Rough, and Night Slash. Those are the only moves, and Zed Headbutt. Those are the only moves that I really see ran on it. I guess it learns Stone Edge, but who would really run Stone Edge? X Scissors, not really a too common thing. You can put Rock Smash on it if you want to be ballsy, but it doesn't have anything that's too good. Like, all the moves it has are around the same thing. Like, half of its moves are psychic, half of its good moves are psychic or dark. They kind of get destroyed by bug types. It doesn't have any good counters for the typings that it is weak to, being bug and stuff like that. Bug, fighting, and fairy. I wish this thing was fairy type. If it was fairy type, it'd be a lot different. It would be a lot, I don't know how it would play out, but it would gain 2 weaknesses, but it would lose 2 at the same time, because it'd lose its fairy and fighting weaknesses, but it's gained steel and poison, which I think it'd work better if it was steel and poison. This thing would be a little bit better, because as I said, half its moves, a lot of its good moves are psychic moves, so poison would really be too big of a deal. And I think this thing can learn like one fighting type move, one good fighting type move. Probably not. Yeah, I don't know how it would deal with that, but it can't really deal with bug types, to be honest. Bug types and fighting types kind of destroy this thing. I guess it has Play Rough, and the stab Play Rough would be so good on this thing. Like, imagine Swords Dancing up, getting stab Play Rough, Sucker Punch for that priority, just to make sure you always get that hit in. Like, that is crucial. This thing can come out and be a one-man. It can't really be a one-man army because it doesn't eat up hits, having base 60 in both defenses. Like, that is stupid. That was really bad. But just the fact that it can push away all the hazards that aren't set up yet, that people are trying to set up on you, and it can set up and hit pretty hard, even with the moves it has, even with the undiverse moves that it has, it still deserves number 2. And its design, it's like an angel. This is why I think it deserves fairy type. It's kind of like a mix of an angel and like a devil-ish. Like, you kind of see it, its horn and its like comb over haircut, they're kind of like opposites of each other, and being dark and fairy would kind of be like opposites of each other because they're good and bad and stuff like that. I don't know, I just love this thing's design. Its power is still good even though it can't take a hit and stuff like that. It's just a nostalgic Pokemon to me, and that's why I think it deserves number 2. Holding the number 1 spot is Mega Charizard Y. And I don't know, personally, this thing is a god. This thing abuses teams, abuses any Pokemon I've ever seen. You can resist a move from this thing just wrecks you. It will slay you, it will take your life, bottle it up, throw it out, and just discard you like a fucking piece of shit. Like, having the Drought ability plus the 159 special attack, like, this is ridiculous. This thing is overpowered. Pokemon made this thing overpowered for a reason. It gets an amazing move pool. Its design is fucking amazing. Its move pool: Dragon Pulse, Ancient Power, Flamethrower, Solar Beam, Air Slash. Like, what else could you need? Set up some Ancient Powers, get the Ancient Power boost. You're done. The other team is done. You cannot come back from that. You can fucking Flamethrower this thing, Flamethrower in the Drought. Always having Solar Beam as a one-turn thing, that is ridiculous. Dragon Pulse, you can go between Dragon Pulse, Air Slash, you can flinch everything. Like, this thing is not Flinch God, but it's pretty much close enough. It's as close as you're gonna get to any other God. Like, it can learn Earthquake, it has a pretty nice physical attack too. Like, base 104 is nothing to play with. Like, that is still good. That is still a mixed attacker. Its defense, its special defense is amazing for being such a good specially attacking Pokemon. Base 115, that is ridiculous. It can eat up hits. It can eat up hits, eat up waterfalls and stuff in the sun, obviously, because not in the sun, it's not gonna eat up shit. The only real doubt about this thing, the only real weakness it has is rock types and rock. Because water, I guess water's a weakness when it's on the sun, but as soon as you bring this thing out, the sun is up, the sun is shining, it's out. Electric is a weakness too, but it can deal with electric types if it has Earthquake, or if it just hits them with a Flamethrower. Electric types are fast, but this thing is pretty fast with that base 100 speed. That is not something to play with. You do not play with Mega Charizard. This thing comes out for blood. This thing Mega Evolves And it gets the option too, like people don't know if it's Y or X when it comes out, but I always run Y. This thing is my crutch in OU, in like Ubers. I'll bring this thing to Ubers and it'll do fine too. Like this thing is a god. This thing is the closest thing you're gonna get to god. This thing is the Blaziken of Kanto. And when this thing got a Mega Evolution, I was all in for the X train. But as soon as I grabbed Y, as soon as I started using them, I cannot go back. This thing is my favorite Mega Evolution. Its design is amazing. Its design looks more like a dragon than the other one. This thing looks like a majestic fucking dragon ready to slay your head. It looks like some Harry Potter dragon, that fucking Goblet of Fire shit, about to torch you up like a fucking, I don't know, a steak or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this thing is definitely my favorite Mega of all time. I don't think there'll ever be another Mega to take this thing's place. This thing is the Honchkrow of Megas to me. Like, this thing is beautiful, super powerful, amazing moveset, doesn't even have that many weaknesses. If this thing can learn Defog, it would be so much better because it would blow away rocks or stuff. As long as there aren't rocks up, this thing is fine. That's the only thing, that's the only real thing about it that kind of kills it, is rocks. Because as soon as rocks come out, half of its health goes down, and that just kind of makes it useless. I think it learns Roost. It probably learns Roost, but who really wants to run Roost on a Mega Charizard Y? Like, that's just not something I want to do. I would rather have Overheat or something like that. Something to put in work. It does learn Rest though, but I don't think it learns Sleep Talk. But that's why it deserves #1. It's just so ridiculously good. No one really has a counter to this thing besides Rocks. You have to have Rocks up. As soon as I see a Charizard on anyone's team, I throw Rocks up. I cannot have that thing going Y and then just abusing me. I just have to get Rocks up, just destroy the thing. Like, I have to live a hit and just destroy it with a T-Bolt or like a Stone Edge or something. That's it. That's why it deserves #1. Just the immense power, the fear that it puts in the other team. This thing makes kids fucking piss their pants on Showdown and on Wi-Fi too. But that's pretty much it. That's why it deserves #1. So you guys have heard me talk about my top 5 Mega Evolutions, so why don't you leave your top 5 or top 10 if you prefer down in the comment section below. I'm going to read through all of them. You can leave a description on why you like it, you can not, it's fine. I just want to know what your top 5 Megas are. I know there are a lot of Megas to come too. This isn't the only little bunch that we might get, so we might get some changes on my list sooner or later when Sableye and all of them come out. And the ones after that, because they're not going to stop. This is an amazing thing that Pokemon added. I'm glad they added Mega Evolutions. I'm glad they made them the way they are. They added a new light to the game and all that stuff. But if you guys can, please drop a like on this video, because I put in a bunch of work into this video, making the graphics and all that and editing it, and just the time spent on this was just all worth it, seeing your guys' support. Because I know I haven't even seen the support, but I know you guys are going to fucking destroy that button. Because you guys always do. You guys are amazing. We're coming close on 900, guys, which is fucking ridiculous. I guess this is a pre-900 thank you, I guess, because on 500 we did one of these too. But we're coming real close on 1K too. We're just 170 away, I think 130 away or something like that. I think we're 130, but that is ridiculous. I can't wait to drop 1K. Like, that was my one goal. I have to buy the Ghost Chili Pepper now, because I promised that I would eat a Ghost Chili Pepper if we hit 1K before my birthday, which we're definitely going to hit it before the Ghost Chili Pepper even fucking gets to my house, even if I get express fucking shipping. So, you guys are fucking amazing. Drop a like if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye, bitches.